Hi, this is Eldervi, and after 4 episodes of slapping whales, it's time for me to let my own pants down. You can find the link to my OnlyFans in the description box. Joke, please don't look for that. What I actually meant was, it's time to show the impressive plays of other people catching me off guard and beating my defense in great style. I haven't shown stuff related to my own defenses for a long time, cause, truth be told, I wasn't too happy about their performance after the much discussed Book 5 updates, bringing us 6 offensive units, sacrifice plays, and in general a lot of tools which made defenses very lackluster for a long time. I've been switching my map designs nearly on a weekly basis, and only in the recent weeks, with the addition of our 7-slot defense mythic on both seasons, I finally found a new style of defending which pretty much takes what I've been doing before and brings things to a new level. That being said, I'll show you the top replays of the defenses I'm currently running, and also, as I can't help myself, some whales who have put a little bit too much trust into their plus 10 units. We will always continue butchering whales on both sides of the map, even though they are the ones most likely able to financially support us. Oh shit, I'm stupid as a rock. And now I've also lost the support of the rocks. But, as always, we'll make it in the most entertaining and funny kind of way. No shaming. So, let's start chronologically with a setup which most of you should be pretty accustomed to by now, my Astra Wind defense. I've talked about this map a lot already, so everyone who is interested in the traps and functionings can check out my video in the top right corner. I remember saying that this layout can indeed be Lynforced with a lot of skill, and while my own Lynforce fails to beat this map, I'm delighted to show you one that could. Now, this team looks like a very regular Lynforce. Duo Lyn, Duo Peony, Harmonic Tiki and Plumeria, together with Altina and Dragon. That's 9 actions in total. Interestingly, this Lyn is merged and runs 3 mythics alongside her, making her reach 62 HP. She also has no means of dropping into Wings of Mercy range of her own, and none out of the 3 dancers and wannabe dancers is even running Wings of Mercy. Interesting. People who have seen my video know that the key players Lyn has to take care of in order to reactivate her and her teammates' cheat skills are well distributed across the map and very hard to reach in time, especially when the dancers have no means of reaching her. Many of my Lyn replays do actually look kinda like this.
Withdraw your blade. Let our mission. I want to play more. I knew it. You are my one true. Give it my all.
So, what is this summoner doing right? They start with double repositionings to get Lyn and her dancer ally into range. Next, they take out Nana, which isn't a big accomplishment.
Accept your punishment.
Dance and take out Duo Peony. Now comes the really nice part though. I've seen this play multiple times, and most Lyns are actually stuck in place after this turn. This summoner uses the power of Peony's guidance, or also the flyer formation seal which Plumeria is running on top, and goes in for the surprise dance across my fortress. With the dagger debuffs in place, Lyn is also capable of taking out my Duolith, who has still a formidable plus 22 defense buff, with a single hit. bitches. And now the wild cheating party begins. Both Lynn and Plumeria get their refresh and start melting down my team.
Go for it. This is it. Yes, what she said.
Harmonic Tiki comes in for the far rescue, giving Lynn yet another action. This is where I actually fail to recreate the solution, as my team just doesn't have that last extra dance on top. What I actually like is that Tiki already had a good action by repositioning, and coming back like this was really a big surprise for me. Lynn takes out Zeros, gets another dance, takes out Sigurd with ease, and stays in place, watching my poor Mirabilis underperform. Oh yeah, and my trap there is real. I'm sleepy and weepy. Oh, Mirabilis. What follows is another very nice performance of the flyer formation skills, taking both pots in round 2 without further ado and taking out my fairy even before the bolt tower had the chance to shine. This execution was flawless and I'm very impressed. Moving on, I'll skip Wind Light season cause we only had 1 week of that combination so far and I've literally shown you all of the replays in my second node video. So we have yet to wait for new content there. But don't you dare to think I wouldn't have something nasty left in my pocket. Here comes my new out of wind season Astra defense. I think you actually haven't seen this one before. After luckily pulling Winter Burnie as my free summon on the duo special banner, and yeah, you may hate me for that, I built this defense, which I wished to build for a long time after I've run into a similar return trap weeks ago. But I actually wouldn't have spent orbs for Burnie if she hadn't come here on her own. With minus attack. So, this is a double rally return trap, focusing on being a nasty bitch from 2 sides in turn 1. I'll just run some quick matches so you can see the gimmicks. Burnie will damage everyone besides Serra and Duo Peony with 1 damage at the beginning of my turn. All of my units besides Serra's have matching HP, and therefore isolation proof thanks to Serra's Kia stuff. Serra herself can't be isolated, cause she's the unit in the extra slot, getting danced by Peony. Without baiting my units right in turn 1, which doesn't look necessary given the very reduced threat range, Peony will refresh Serra, the things dancers do nowadays, and therefore give her the hidden guidance buff. With no one besides Ophelia in her range, she will fly below her thanks to the guidance and heal up the caused damage, resulting in Ophelia very likely catching someone off guard with a pre-charged special. But that's not all.
I've done all I can.
By threatening either Ophelia or Burnie right in turn 1, Liv will automatically step forward to rally either one of them. After Peony's dance, Mirabilis, who stands on the other end of the lane, will also get the guidance buff and will suddenly be able to reach the rallying Liv in order to refresh him, giving him a much improved danger area as well.
I've done all I can.
The return trap will still activate afterwards, leaving you with possibly 2 very dead units on both sides. So much for the theory. It works quite well so far, but I only have 1 week of performance till now. So, how did I lose? The best play I've seen so far was from this player using a far safe Spring Idunn. She is a very powerful hero which is rarely seen due to her exclusiveness, but she has a lot of potential, especially running far safe. Her Zephyr Breath denies enemies doubles, negates debuffs, and gives attack -6 on the enemy while standing within 2 tiles of a friend, which is very likely due to the far save. It also has armor effectiveness, and my Halloween Hector is silently crying in the corner with his merely +4 to all stats weapon. 64 res is also a respectable stat to beat. This is further improved by Flane's drive damage reduction. Her partner Backdoor is not running near safe, but rather armor march, giving them more movement, and all the mythics are interestingly running stat enhancing ace seals. I'm not really sure why, Maybe just to increase their bulk and HP in order to make sure they are not getting snatched when they are wrongly positioned in the back row? Maybe? The game itself is pretty much unspectacular. Idunn stays in the range of my panic mana, not having to care about the debuff, while Plumeria and Dragon both interestingly leave her far safe range. I can only imagine that they had a bit of doubt seeing my Wings of Mercy Zeros. My rally trap worked as intended, making Liv rally Bernie into the dance, but that 68 resistance was huge. Double denial was also of course not helpful. 38 speed. We may indeed see a comeback of middling speed units when we get further means of follow-up denial. But Idunn actually fails to take down Liv, which will be a huge issue for my team, as it denies Bernie an open spot to attack. Zeros does jump in with Wings of Mercy, but finds herself a troublesome enemy in backdoor. Funny enough, if Liv had attacked Idunn from the space below the panic mana, and he had the movement to go there, both Zeros and Bernie could have actually attacked Idunn instead. I can only imagine that it was due to the missing support of an ally within free spaces, but Mira could have literally danced him from above the panic mana as well. Whatever they fixed with the AI movement, it wasn't enough. Part 2 of the trap activates, unleashes Ophelia, and wow, that blazing wind damage! And it's so close, but they fail to take her out due to Flame's damage reduction support. Well, so does Idunn. What a huge train wreck! Couldn't have Zeros waited with her attack for Ophelia? I know that this isn't a possibility in the AI decision making, but it could have been nice. Cleanup time with a 2 health Idunn and all but Zeros still living. Ashera takes out Bernie and luckily saves us from watching that sky thing twice. I mean, the animation is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but they really should have cut the sky part when she's attacking twice. Backdoor takes out Ophelia thanks to his armor march movement, and a low health Flame is barely capable of taking out Liv. Wow, I kinda thought that cleanup would be more spectacular? Well, I left 2 nearly dead units behind. Sarah dies to Dragon, and I'm left with 2 fearsome dancers. Well, 3 if you want to be accurate. Doesn't increase their threat though. Here we come! Fear us!
Fool!
A little bit harsh, don't you think? Such a shame. I came really close to beating them. On the other hand, I would have probably only taken out Idunn and would have still lost in terms of a sacrifice game. It was also the last day of the week, so the summoner had no need for pots. But even if, there would have surely been someone to tank Peony. It's not exactly hard. Last, let's look at my current out of win season light defense. Instead of sticking to the double rally up node, which would make my poor plus 10 Bremimont completely useless, I took advantage of my new Bernie situation and built a similar defense to my Astra return trap, this time with a focus on Bremimont though. With him being a mythic himself, I had a real struggle trying to bring all of my units to the same health. Therefore I included Nana in this setup to provide further isolation negating odd recovery. She will hit anyone but Bremimont, and with his low health, he will be covered by Sarah. So the return trap with Sarah, Bernie, the Bram family and Peony is still in place. The rally trap on the other side did change a bit though. Instead of running the rally on one of the horses, I decided to put the rally on Node, who looks very harmless up there in that corner. Innocent souls may believe that she is out of usefulness in that position, but the trap activates once Peony refreshes Sarah at the beginning of the round. This will enable Node to go below Liv in order to put a rally on him instead, and with this, the range of my 3 Kevs will suddenly increase by a surprising lot.
Take this.
You may also wonder why I'm running stupid repositioning assists on my Kevs. The reason is simple. Even if you don't bait Liv in round 1, their assists will make them move after node, and she will use her movement in order to reach the only place she can go to, below Liv. So even if you try to bait out only Bramimond, node will still enable the trap on the right side, increasing the threat range to all 3 of the bottom right tiles. I've been running the setup as well only 1 week so far, and I've already made some changes after seeing the replays, but I'm still very pleased with the performance. The top play of the week against this defense is actually a beautiful Cinderella story, as this summoner actually tackled me with a level 3 offense fortress. I know that they changed something about the level difference for offenders, so as far as I know my units won't gain a stat advantage from this, but it clearly indicates a new player. So if you thought you wouldn't be able to keep up with the golden chair huggers just because you're new, here's your shimmer of hope. To be fair, there are of course 2 meta units involved, and it's again far safe. But new players have to spend their orbs on something as well, right? All of them are pretty much running their base kits, with male Corrin being a small exception with his double distant guard. Peony runs rest tactics instead of her own rest skill, which makes sense, as it's the only way to apply the rest buff to Edelgard without standing next to her. What impressed me most about the team though, was the flawless execution. I can see by the positioning and also units the player brought that they really understood my map. First of all, despite being new, they only brought 3 buildings. Most of their buildings are probably underdeveloped, so it's not like they would be a big help anyways. But this in combination with the 5-man team gives this player quite a huge space to work with. Peony and Miller move into the back row. Corrin takes the middle spot where he provides his distant guard to both Edelgard and Henriette, and Thick Mommy actually moves over to the side, which was indeed a smart move. Why? First of all, the map starts as usual. Sarah does her thing and Brammy comes down. He attacks Corrin instead of Fallen Edelgard, which is interesting, cause she has a much lower resistance than Henriette. But I guess he couldn't have killed Edelgard, and her damage reduction probably made the difference, I guess. Henriette takes the Lonely Souls like a boss, even though she doesn't manage to kill them. Now, here comes the deal though. The really smart part was to stay out of Liv's range. If she would have stood there, Nana would have attacked her first, resulting in her not being able to counter anyone. Node and Liv do the trap nevertheless, but neither Nana nor Bernie can reach anyone, and therefore it is only teenage Alphonse trying to convince Mommy to let him stay out of home past 10 o'clock, and Mommy says nope. Such a small detail, but such a big difference. With the damage Liv dealt to his teammates, even Corrin could take out Bramimond in the following turn, and Henriette goes for Bernie. So far nice and clean, but the thing which happens next is indeed quite beautiful. Peony dances Thick Mommy, giving her guidance also over to Edelgard and Miller. This enables Miller to smite Edelgard to the other side while staying out of danger herself. And by going up 1 space with Mommy, without attacking actually, Edelgard is able to hop over her in order to take out Nana. The thing is, I actually don't think Henriette could have killed Nana, but I guess many summoners would have attacked her nevertheless just to make sure. By attacking her, Nana would have gone into Wings of Mercy range though, and if the trap below her would have been real, Peony could have come down to dance or attack in the following turn, so this was indeed a very nice observation. Edelgard then goes on to maintain her transformation, and my units start acting like idiots. Yeah, 0 times 2! Why don't you try it again? Oh yeah, now it's 3 times 2! Such a huge difference. And while Node survives Fallen Edelgard, it's not really like she damages her or puts her in threat. The cleanup continues and we are seeing once again a very nice usage of their assist skills, leaving no damage Sarah alive in order to get the pots.
Crumble to ash.
It obviously took some time with the slowest armors, but it was a nice clear nevertheless. So, at last, to redeem myself at least a bit from all that slaughtering, let's go over to the lovely people from Silicon Valley and watch a new segment of Wailing Bad. I'm so much going to lose any financial support I ever had. Wanna buy a print? Please take these replays purely entertaining. I am in no way trying to shame people who have lost against my map. Seeing only the replays leaves you without any information on the players. They could have literally pressed the end turn button while having a stroke. Just to name one common example. So, no shame on misplays, it happens to all of us. But now, let's enjoy this.
Meet your defeat. Death is deliverance. So this is death.
Your luck's run out! Aether! I won't back down. I won't back down. Fool. Such power. Withdraw your blade.
I'm sorry. Yeah! Not good enough. My end? I knew it.
I am absolute. In His Majesty's name!
I did what I could, Lady Lana.
Perish! In the name of the goddess!
What have you?
So, that's it for my top replay so far. Though this only covers the last 4 or 5 weeks, so I'm sure there will be some great things coming in the future. As many of you may know, I made a poll about doing videos of my defense replays, and I wanna thank all of you for voting. I think I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to do. My plan is to present you the game of the week at the beginning of each of those videos, talking you through the team and strategy they used to beat me, or at least try to beat me. I really want to focus on cool team concepts and good ideas there. And afterwards, go over to silent mode while showing you the other replays. I also really like the chat suggestion, so I will actually try to publish all of them as live premieres, so you can watch and chat along and make your bets on how things will end. This could indeed be a lot of fun. So see you in a few days with the replays of this week. Bye!